That actually helps a little bit for my second question, which is a little bit broad and a little bit hypothetical. But what does victory look like here? I mean, you've talked about destroying ISIL. I honestly don't know what that means. What does it mean?
I didn't bring my Webster's dictionary with me up here. I think that,
come on.
well, you know, it's only...
You guys keep talking about that. I understood
actually
it when he said...
I think that's a pretty illustrative phrase to use to describe the situation that we envision. We've talked about the threat that ISIL poses in the context of foreign fighters. We've talked about the threat that ISIL poses in the context of gaining the kind of safe haven that would allow them to plot and carry out conspiracies that could lead to catastrophic attacks on the West or even on the American homeland. Those are the two principal threats that we are concerned about as it relates directly to American national security. There are other interests that we have here. There's clearly the ISIL forces wreaking havoc in this already volatile region of the world is not in our best interest. And we have, therefore, an interest in acting with the international community to try to stabilize the situation. We can do that in a way that doesn't require the introduction of American ground combat troops to Iraq or Syria, but rather we can deploy a tried and true counterterrorism strategy that this administration has used successfully in other contexts. And essentially that means building up support for fighters on the ground, ramping up our support to Iraqi and Kurdish security forces, and ramping up our support to Syrian opposition fighters. It means building an international coalition, and it means using selectively American military might to aid those fighters who are taking the fight to the terror elements on the ground in their own country. And ultimately, that is the strategy that we're using to accomplish this broader goal of degrading and ultimately destroying ISIL.